Welcome to my views on news, another video with some news stories. Firstly, Shire front viewers, what is happening on this major front? We know that Tigray forces are defending on this front. Where is ENDF and where is EDF? Have they made some gains? Reportedly, a town between Shire and Eritrean border is a major front line now, and small town from where hundreds have been displaced. It is becoming a sort of a red line between Tigray forces and ENDF and EDF, and massive reinforcements from Tigray side are being sent towards this town, this place which is between Shire and Tigray Eritrea border. We have details for you. And secondly, viewers, William Ruto is the newly elected president of Kenya. As we were discussing in previous videos that William Ruto's election will have regional impact as well. What would be its impact on Ethiopia, Kenya, Kenya, Somalia relations? We discussed this point in some previous video. We were waiting for some information. Now, William Ruto has spoken about PM Abiy of Ethiopia. What are his views about PM Abiy? Is he supportive of Ethiopian federal government? By the way, when Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh was elected in May this year, Tigray government wrote a letter congratulating Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud on becoming president of Somalia. Did Tigray regional government write any letter to congratulate William Ruto? I did not see any letter. And what did Ruto say about PM Abiy? We have a clip for you. Firstly, viewers, Shire front, one of the fronts on Tigray Eritrea border. We know that from Eritrean side, multiple offensives are being launched into Tigray from Erob, from Zilambasa towards Adegarat, from Sirona towards Rama, towards Shire, towards Shiraro. So several offensives have been launched from Eritrean soil by ENDF and Eritrean forces towards Tigray borders. Viewers say, Sajid, no one is speaking about involvement of Eritrean military. It's just my vision news. Well, I have confirmed to the best of my capabilities that Eritrean military is involved in Afar and on Tigray Eritrea border. So that is why I have no doubts. We have this update from Shire front. We keep on hearing unfounded claims, rumors that Adegarat about to fall, Adegarat encircled, Shire about to fall, Mekelle about to fall. We must not forget that a massive campaign is being launched. All sides have launched massive social media campaigns. Purpose is to demoralize the other side and to support its side. That is why all information being shared should not be trusted as truth. Lots of fake information is being shared. Now, if you remember, a few days ago, I reported about Edi Dairo, which is on Shire front, you can say. It is between Shire and Tigray Eritrea border. I reported that Edi Dairo had come under ENDF, EDF control. But fighting was ongoing. EDF and ENDF were finding it difficult to move towards Shire from Edi Dairo, which would be around 20 kilometers away from Shire, I think. Since then, heavy fighting has been ongoing in Edi Dairo. And reportedly, hundreds, if not thousands of civilians, they have been displaced from Edidairo. It's an empty town, you can say, a small place. It's an empty place now. Civilians have been displaced from Edidairo. And it has become a sort of red line for Tigray forces. Tigray forces don't want ENDF and EDF to consolidate control of Edidairo and then to move towards Shire. What we have learned is that EDF and ENDF, they have managed to consolidate their control of Edidairo, reportedly. Though one after another counteroffensives are being launched by Tigray forces, and reportedly massive reinforcements have been deployed, have been sent towards Edidairo from Shire. Because Tigray forces are treating Edidairo as a red line, that if it falls completely under EDF, ENDF control, if EDF, ENDF are not stopped at Edidairo, then they'll definitely reach Shire or the outskirts of Shire. That is why on this front, thousands of Tigray fighters are being deployed. EDF and ENDF have largely consolidated their control of Edidairo. But they were in Edidairo around more than a week ago, I think. Still they are finding it difficult to move from Edidairo, because one after another counteroffensives are being launched. So we can say that front line on this Shire front is still Edidairo. Though from Edidairo, obviously, Shire can be shelled. Edidairo, Shire distance would be around 20 kilometers. So Shire can be shelled from Edidairo. But problem is that fighting is not stopping. One after another counteroffensives are coming, and massive reinforcements from TDF on their way arrived on Edidairo front. So it's not that Shire is about to fall. We have no such information. Still, front line is close to Edidairo reportedly. Secondly, viewers, William Ruto is the newly elected president of Kenya, elected a few days ago. Then competitor Raila Odinga challenged the election. Supreme Court ruled in favor of William Ruto. How supportive is he going to be of Ethiopian PM Abiy? We know that Tigray regional government in its letters put its trust in Uhuru Kenyatta, that Uhuru Kenyatta should lead the mediation process, peace process between Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government. And Uhuru Kenyatta opposed William Ruto in the election. Uhuru Kenyatta supported Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga has lost. Ruto has appointed Uhuru Kenyatta as Kenyan representative for the peace process of Congo and Ethiopia. Ruto is not directly supervising Kenyan efforts now to resolve the crisis. The task has been delegated to Uhuru Kenyatta. But William Ruto appreciated PM Abiy in a statement just a few hours ago. He was interviewed by Al Jazeera. And there Al Jazeera host asked a question about PM Abiy. He called him president. Both called him president. He is PM, obviously. The host, Al Jazeera host, asked a question about PM Abiy, that should he be removed for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. William Ruto, in his statement in response to the question, said that PM Abiy could play a role in peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. So he seems very supportive of Ethiopian federal government. That is why perhaps we have not seen a letter of congratulation from Tigray regional government for William Ruto. Like Tigray wrote a letter to congratulate Hassan Sheikh when he was elected in May. It means that PM Abiy will have support of William Ruto. TPLF's position has been weakened a little. Kenyatta is there, but Kenyatta is obviously not in a position of authority now. So mainly William Ruto will call the shots. By the way, role of mediators is limited now because the two sides are holding direct talks. Like we saw in Djibouti a few days ago, that US and African Union facilitated direct talks between Tigray and Ethiopian government representatives. So role of Kenyan government is limited. But with Uhuru Kenyatta's leaving office and William Ruto's election as the president of Kenya, I think that TPLF, Tigray government's position has been weakened in terms of support from Kenya. William Ruto would be more supportive of Ethiopian federal government. Take a listen to what he said about PM Abiy in his interview on Al Jazeera. Thank you for watching.
President Abiy Ahmed, who of course won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019, but he gave up on peace efforts and has been commanding a war now in recent years. Do you think for a lasting peace he should perhaps step aside now?
I think that's not a decision that can be made in a place like here. I think matters of governance are much more complicated. They are not as straightforward as people look or as people watch from a distance. I think President Abiy is still will still play a major role and will be a stabilizing factor in that region. And I think we need to work with him, work with his teams for the eventual resolution of that conflict in that region.